Hello Internet, I'm Mango Thunderslice. Today I'm going to be talking about Pizzagate, Project Stargate, and President Trump's inauguration. Alright, a little bit of an update on just some things I've already been talking about. A lot of them in the CIA video, Donald Trump versus the CIA, the grand conspiracy. I guess starting with Pizzagate, it's really progressing, guys. I'm going to put a link down below. I encourage you all to really check out the summary of the findings that have been collected at this point. It's really impressive work that this team of just investigators online have put together. All right, we do not yet have direct proof that James Alefantis, or Hillary Clinton or John Podesta themselves personally connected to this child trafficking network, but there is a mountain of very, very compelling circumstantial evidence that would make a grand jury really scratch their chins for a good long while. Some of the highlights really revolves around a woman named Laura Silsby. This is a woman who was caught leaving the island of Haiti, and she was basically smuggling children out of the island. Okay, so we've talked about in previous videos of mine that the Clintons, one of their biggest, most evil scams was in the island of Haiti after the earthquake in 2010. One of the things that I was aware of and I've reported on is that the Clintons basically pocketed all of the billions in international aid money. They were designated as the UN representatives for, aids to Haiti. And so they just pocketed all the money. They gave 1% to the people of the island in some totally crappy projects. And then the rest they just handed out to their buddies and to themselves. And I thought that was pretty messed up just on its own. I mean, these people had their lives destroyed, and people are sending in money all over the world, and you're just gonna take it? Man, I can't even imagine the low life that would do that. But that's the Clintons. So, but what they actually are doing is, it looks like they're trafficking children, and this is a big network. I think it was called Friends of the Orphans, was the one that Laura Silsby was connected to. Laura Silsby was represented by a lawyer named Max Maccabee. Max Maccabee was also a lawyer for James Alefantis and his boyfriend David Brock in a blackmail case. All right, it's a lot of info. I'll put it down there. But, Hillary Clinton was being updated by Huma Abedin, her aide, about Laura Silsby, as she was taken into custody and as, she was being processed through the system. Hillary was getting direct email updates, okay? So obviously Hillary had a direct personal interest in what was happening to Laura Silsby, as she was getting caught trafficking children across international lines for, ostensibly an international pedophile network. So yeah, that's kind of one of the main things. Basically, I mean, this is all documented evidence. This is all real news, not fake news. And this investigation isn't going anywhere. We're going to take these sick puppies down. Check that out. Next, disclosure of CIA documents. I believe it was about 13 million documents that have been declassified by the CIA are now going to be accessible to the public. I guess they were already accessible to the public, but they were only accessible through one computer terminal somewhere in DC that you had to go to and reserve a spot or something. But I guess now somebody has copied all of that information. And basically is uploading it to a public database, which is totally awesome. And why that's important is because a lot of those documents validate the exact type of stuff that I was talking about in my CIA Trump video. One of which that I'm going to point out today, and again, I'll put the link for that one down below as well, but is Project Stargate, all right? And that conjures all sorts of crazy X-Files images, but Project Stargate was the CIA's remote viewing program. It was their military psychic program. This is exactly what was being represented in the movie The Men Who Stare at Goats was Project Stargate. Okay, they say that they closed it down once, I think it was in the 70s, and they started to get some unwanted attention to the program. So they say that they shut it down. Who knows what they actually did? I doubt it. You know, they usually, when they get caught on things like this, they just push the program underground and just tell the public that they closed it. So that's interesting. You know, basically, it's proof now that's come out. You can check it out and verify everything that I've told you about that. Basically, the CIA has been using psychics for military purposes, and you know, that's interesting just from a conspiracy point of view, but also from a deeper perspective is, you know, there's all these scientists out there, cheerleaders of science, that think that the universe is a boring, predictable place, and that things like psychic powers are, you know, science fiction, and that they don't really exist. But all right, you actually have proof in the CIA declassified documents now that no, the fake news is that psychic powers are impossible and they don't exist. That is the fake news. The truth is that the universe is a very interesting place. It is connected by a single unifying field called the ether that allows instantaneous transmission of energy and information across vast distances, and that's the basis of psychic powers that all organic beings are tapped into. So that's pretty cool. Project Stargate, check that out. What's the next one? Oh yeah, President Trump's inauguration, right? I thought it was pretty cool to watch. You know, it's you know, everybody's again still freaking out about everything this guy says, but the more all you snowflakes just start, you know, losing your shit and flipping out every time Trump says this or that, you just make me like the guy even more, and millions of Americans too. Every time the media tries to get him with a gotcha moment, you know, trying to press this like crowd size BS, like for real, you guys are so out of ammo, you're so lost in the fucking wilderness that you now gotta try and hit Trump on his ego by saying that he didn't have as big of a crowd as Barack Obama. It's like, shit, there were millions of people out there. Like, the fact that that's what you have to latch onto is pretty sad. And then Trump sends out his press secretary to set you guys straight, and then the press gets even more bent out of shape about the fact that Sean Spicer came out and told him what's what, and that's just hilarious. I mean, for real, this is truly momentous times, truly a great moment in history. We're actually going to end the imperial foreign policy of the Washington establishment. You know, Trump has already followed through on more campaign promises in 48 hours than Obama followed with in 8 years. And I think that's really impressive, how he's just hitting the ground running, and he's got his teams coming down into each department like the freaking beaches in Normandy. It's just really great. I'm really happy to have a competent, intelligent president in the White House. And that's my last point for this video, is all the people that are just like continually still saying that Trump is stupid. Like, literally, first of all, you don't become a billionaire by being stupid, even if you started with $1 million. You know what happens to the average, you know, liberal who inherits $1 million? It pisses it away. It's gone within a few years. Like, all right, to turn $1 million into $1 billion is a huge achievement. He's a very smart man on that account, but you guys still don't get it. Everything he's done so far has been perfectly calculatedly planned. Even all of these things that you think are gaffes, are these outrageous statements that he makes, he's been gaming the media for the last year and a half. He didn't have to spend, he spent, what, 1/30th of the amount that the Hillary team did, because he knows how to game you guys. He knows how to troll you guys and how to get a reaction out of you, and I just think it's brilliant. You know, it's really an amazing time, and you know, we are going to have some turbulent events here in 2017, but it's just it's really great that I actually feel like I have a president who actually knows what he's doing, and so that's pretty cool. You know, Mike Pompeo and the CIA, right? He's going to bring some accountability to that place. Again, not a peaceful guy, you know. Definitely, you know, pretty hardcore. But, you know, if you want to see what this guy's about, Mike Pompeo, the new director of the CIA, Google on YouTube, or go on YouTube and search Mike Pompeo, Hillary Clinton, Benghazi. All right, and you will see that this guy is a bulldog, and he does not take shit. And I think that's great, because the CIA is going to get totally reined in. Trump's first stop was at CIA headquarters in Langley. And, you know, the media wants to, again, try and trash him and throw him under the bus for talking about the crowd sizes. But you know what? he is a master tactician, and that was a move to get the CIA on his side, the good agents in the CIA. Yes, it's amazing for me to say it, but there are good agents in the CIA. I do believe that. There's also a lot of shitty ones, you know, just like any group of people. There's good ones and bad ones. But it's just great. There was one thing he said at the end that almost seemed totally random, like, we're going to make you guys a bigger room, and it's not going to have columns. We got rid of the column. And people like, what is he talking about? Like, just giving architectural advice at the CIA headquarters? But this was a huge statement and just proved that Trump is not only hyper intelligent, but he is super sly. He is super slick. And so he had this statement at the end, we got rid of the column, okay? A fifth column is basically an entity within a government or organization that is secretly undermining it and acting against the greater, better interest of the whole group. The CIA has been the fifth column, running drugs, smuggling children, engaging in ritual satanic abuse, overthrowing all these governments, creating ISIS. That is the fifth column that the CIA has existed and served as, and it's been a nightmare. It's been hell on earth for anyone who's been even remotely attached to any of these activities, and it's going to stop. And that's what Trump was saying to him at the end. We're not going to have any more columns, okay? You guys are going to get on board with the new regime, or you're going to be cut out. And to walk into the CIA headquarters and say that shit, just like, you know, on the surface, it's just a nice hello, welcome everybody speech, but beneath the surface, he's telling them all what's up. You guys better get your shit together and get on board, or you're going to get thrown off the ship. So that's a beautiful thing. Hope you all have a great day. I thought I'd just give you a little update, from my perspective about what's going on. Very exciting times, and it's not going to stop. It's only rolling from here, baby. So cheers. See you next time.